One of the things that I've been enamored with as I've read the Bible recently in my personal times and in my leadership of Crosspoint Fellowship is that the Bible's not just about what God says, but it is a compilation of stories. It is what God says, but it's more than that. It's about what God says, about what He's going to do in people's lives. And the stories are just simply about God doing stuff in people's life, and that we get the chance to see that and then be enamored by with what He wants to do in our life as well. We see this through His Son's birth. This week we're going to take a look at three different people, actually two people and a group of people, and what God is doing through the birth of His own Son. The first is Mary herself, the one who carried Jesus. And Luke recorded a song of Mary. And this song of Mary shows what God was doing in her life. That even though she was lowly, even though that she was humble, that God showed up in might and in power through giving her the opportunity to bear His Son. And in fact, you could say it was because she was lowly and humble that He showed up in power. So what does God want to do or tell us through this story about what He wants to do in our life? That it is that we don't have to be mighty and powerful on our own. We don't have to bow up. We don't have to be all that in a bag of chips and brag about ourselves and be this and be that and try and one-up each other. That it is through a lowly and humble life that He shows up in power. And that is actually why He shows up in power. And what He wants to do is that through your lowly and humble life, a life that is just laid before Him and said, I'm just going to follow You no matter what. That I'm not going to be all that. That I'm not going to bow up. And that I'm simply just going to bow before You and be humble. And that is the life that He wants to use to show up in His might and in His power.